Okay. Hello, everybody. I apologize for a late start. We were on track for 7, like we're supposed to be, and then we got some snow happening, so unfortunately, did not work out that way. So let me do an audio check here. Doesn't seem to be working too well. Oh, all right. Yeah, that sounds all right. Okay, so we'll take that out. We'll put that right there. I'm sure the cat's gonna knock that off. He don't like the earbuds laying around. So, okay. But yes, so like I was saying, sorry, we were gonna start at 7. Everything was set up, and then got the call. Had to go out because it's snowing, so I had to go out and deal with that. So we had to do a real quick reschedule. It was like 10 minutes before dinner too. Man, I was upset. We're having ham tonight, but anyway. Um, so yeah, starting a little bit late. We'll probably still we'll do the 2.5, maybe 3 hours. I'm not sure. It's the weekend. We can do what we want, right? Oh, so I hope everybody is doing well, doing a little better than I am, at least. But get this going, and we should be all right. Okay, so well, let's take a look at some things. So for the battle pass, I'd mentioned that I kind of got a little slacking on that, but we caught up. Oh, look at that, I got one. Yeah, we just didn't really bother doing this. I don't even remember how I got this. Yeah, neat. But and then we did do one of the Echo Swamp um, resource runs. But yeah, we got everything else done. Most of this is void purge stuff. So the void erosions and having a special round equipped and do this in void erosions, and this in void erosions, and complete void erosions. So you know we need to do that anyway to get ourselves some cores. We can make ourselves stronger every day. So we got a ton of this stuff done. There were a lot of bonus coins here, the supply coins involved in this week. So we got the 3 here and then the 3 here. So there's like 42 of them just in this one alone. Normally there's only like 2 or 3. Well, this one had 5. So hey, we still got these. We have gotten everything except glassless glay with better eyesight or contacts. I don't know if they have them things, but so we can't get it this week, but hopefully next week we will. So there you go. That's the battle pass. Let me get my. Speaking of glassless, let me take mine off because they're horrible. Don't want to do that. So yeah, that was the battle pass. Let's talk about some journal entries. 405 out of 412. Those are all done. Here, we're still kind of stuck on this because we're just not getting any support requests. Not getting real lucky with those. Mastery rank is stuck. And we did buy one more thing with our little green tickets that you get with ETA. So we're at 5 out of 30. I don't know how dedicated I am to doing that though, man. Like I said, I cannot get that 100 drop. So we're doing it 4 at a time. You do it 4 at a time, 300 is pretty far away. I do occasionally get the 10 to 12 to 13 drop, but 9 out of 10, 19 out of 20, they're the 4s. So we're getting it hard. But wouldn't mind one of them 100 drops. That would help ease some of this pain. That's 25 kills in one shot. Be great. Nexon, hello. But yep, there's that. We did finish the battle thing. The last thing we had was the 1,000 rescues, and we fought it as long as we could. But void erosion purge, we did have some going downs. So yep, we ended up finishing that one off. So is what it is. We are still at 23 out of 50. Have not gone after Deathstalker again. We're going to probably do that tonight, though. Can't guarantee we'll get the grapples, but we'll try. We're going to focus on Colossi this evening, so it should be in there. And then finally, Void Erosion, 73 and 69. Cool. But I was worried about this because I don't like doing it, but at least doing the one for the activities for that little New Year's thing, at least we got, 10 coins for it and credit. And they went and did this. So we got Kate's Experiment Assistant Challenge, where it's the same thing. All the stuff we do, I don't understand why we're doing the same things. But yeah, you got to do a void mission, and you got to do 3 missions instead of 4. You got to clear intercept battles and complete a research. It's, like I said, it's the same thing as the New Year's. All they did was stick Kate's face over here. They did change the rewards. Instead of just getting 10 coins, you're actually getting materials. And on that, I'm not really going to complain. 1,000,000 gold to go into a void vessel mission. Congratulations, Debs. You found a way to make me go in there every day after the other event ended. Because as much as I'm not real thrilled about it, I'll go in there for 1,000,000 gold. The missions to do the 3 missions, you get 100,000 Kuiper. I'm good on Kuiper, but you know what? Always use more. This is nice, getting dimension analyzers, 4 of them for doing the intercept battles, so that's great. And this one here, completing a research, so it's not really that big of a task. I mean, you can go make one of those analyzers or one of the core disruptors, and they'll be done in under a minute. But I'll be honest, this 10 precise ion accelerators, it ain't much. You go through them pretty well. I mean, this is a 2-week event, so you're going to get 140 of them, which 100 of them's, pretty good. But, I mean, no complaints. I like that they changed it to stuff that we can use instead of a coin that we then have to go to a NAS and buy the stuff that we want. But, yeah, it is what it is. Not a real creative event, but it's it's an event. It can't be the best or the greatest, but yeah, maybe a little more effort. I'm sorry, but so this is nice. The daily report logins. You only have to do 14 days, and you got like 30 days to do it, so you could skip a day. The rewards here are pretty nice. So like day 2, and is that it? Yeah, just day 2, you get 1,000 of these things, of those metal fragments, the abyss metal fragments. So that gets you halfway to making a core enabler. Oh, sorry. Or it gets you well on your way with these guys, the disruptors, but you also get 200 disruptors through this event. So that's not bad. It's nice to see this 200 precise ions. That's great. And you can actually get a core binder as day 11's reward. So that's pretty cool. Shape stabilizers. Gonna get an energy activator when you're done here. And what's that, 1.5? I think. Yeah, gold. 1.5's over here. Some vouchers. It's not bad. So, I mean, it's a login event. What do you expect? But yeah, so not bad. At least there's new stuff happening. It doesn't take much effort to make it happen. But all right, so first thing we got to do is come on over here, and we're gonna check our research. I'm willing to bet it's a energy activator, and I think I just made a bunch of those ions anyway. So let's see. My memory serves me right, and it does. So yep, I went big, made 500. Oh, let's find control axis. I've been spinning guns, been trying to kind of customize some of the perks that I wanted, and it hasn't been friendly. So I know you look at this and you say, dude, you got 2,200 of them, which sounds great, but I had almost 5,000. So yeah, we went through them. But we'll go ahead and collect those. There's our new mail. And we're probably just going to go ahead and spin this right away. Always good to have those hanging around. Only about a little over halfway on the, damn near, yeah, just barely over halfway to get another set of these going. But I think we can make a bunch of these guys. They're costly, but yeah, we can do 500 again. We can do 500 a whole bunch of times. A lot of money though, a lot of gold. At least they're giving us rewards. I do have like 136 million, so I can afford it. So we'll go ahead, pop those in. Basically, we got the same thing that got completed. We're making again. So there we go. Yeah, 27. Yay. We have 11 energy activators, and I've used them on all the characters and most of the guns. So actually, all the guns. So I don't actually need to make these. So we're gonna just keep that sitting there. We're supposed to have quite a few ultimate weapons coming when they do the new season, and we got a new operator, so we'll need some of these, but we're going to get one for the event, so we're fine. I think it's down to like 5 or so. I might start making more. I've only got 11 blueprints though, but hey, yeah, we just focus on the cats. That does good. All right, so that's all done. And we got a mail there, but we don't have to go get it. So I'll tell you what we'll do real quick. We're going to, of course, knock out all of our little dailies. Go. Yeah, no. Come on. And we'll go up here. So since I'm still low, they're almost tied, 73 versus 69. So we're going to stick with the normal ones until they balance out, and then we'll just start alternating them. And we'll go ahead and do public just in case, you know, we come across people that need the help. More than happy to help them. So my dog hates the rain. A big tough American bulldog, but he hates the rain. And it's snowing / freezing rain out, so that counts. So he's been doing the super speedy going outsides, but I don't think he's actually getting done what he needs to, because he doesn't want to stay out there in it. So I took him out right before we started, and hopefully that will get us through the stream without him crybabying. Oh, cool. So I put on this my Enduring Legacy just doing the core rolls. I wasn't really trying to. It's just how life turned out. But I've got double sprint speed bonuses on this. So now we are... Bad guys behind us. We are hauling ass through these missions with a machine gun in our hand, which is kind of weird. Man, her poison lasts forever. Putting me to shame. Sorry everyone. See? Look at this. Actually gaining on them. You know, double modifiers will do that, won't they? Got him. Nice. What are you doing here? Oh, yeah, I was kind of staring at that because there's supposed to be two of them, man. They were lined up perfect. Mm. It's odd. Normally that door's open, so I don't normally do this side of the doorways here, but hey, whatever. Oh. We. Oh. Well, he didn't like that, did he? I'm just gonna stand here. Yay, new mail. So that's not bad, you know? $1 million? I'll take it. Yeah, $1 billion. 1.1. Sorry about the yawns, guys. Okay, so that's one mission down, but I think we already had a mission, so now I guess got to do one more mission to get my Kuiper and one more Colossi fight. Sorry, will get me. Alright, so yeah, we already had kind of some progress from playing late last night, staying up, being silly. But yep, so just one more mission tonight, we'll get that, and then we'll clear an intercept battle, we'll get those. So, that luckily kind of works with us in what we're trying to do here for this evening. So, what I want to talk about is Colossi fights. I don't know why my voice cracked. Colossi fights. There we go. So, if you watch my content, you'll know that I do, for most Colossi, we do the Eugen. And I'll give you, give you the story on that. So, we did our fights all the way up through here with Lepic and Bunny. Lepic was the character I chose in the beginning, and then I got Bunny all the way up through, and then once we got into the hard mode, we started doing the hard void intercept battles. And I stayed with Lepic for quite a while, but as I started getting other operators, I would jump in with them. But most of the time, I would do them in public. So I would pub match these things, and you look on Reddit, everybody says do it by yourself, do it solo, because this game punishes you for having more in a group. I get that sentiment. I think you're kind of looking at it the wrong way, though. Okay, because when you say that it's easier to do solo, it's not that the game punishes you for being in a group. I think when you fight as a 4-man team, that's what the Colossus is, and it's reducing it if you have fewer players. So it's not penalizing you for playing in a group. It's making it easier for you because you're by yourself, and you're always going to be aggroed, and you have to deal with everything. So it makes sense that it would be easier. The problem is that in some cases it's just way easier to do it by yourself um, than it is to do it as a group. But for somebody who's just starting out or somebody who doesn't know, these guys can be somewhat intimidating. Like, for instance, Executioner, Dead Bride, Devourer, Pyromaniac, and Swamp Walker really aren't that advanced. You could say Devourer is a bit because he makes those little canister things, and that kind of is a change up. But it's really, I mean, it's not real hard to deal with. Like, he makes a canister with a shield on it, and there's a line going to him, so that automatically tells you that probably should get blown up. Um, it does heal him back, which, if you're not able to deal with those canisters in a timely fashion, sometimes all the work you put into him just gets put back on. My experience was the first couple times I fought him, that was the issue, is those canisters just they weren't going down fast enough, and you could see half his health or half the damage you did to him go back, which was terrible. But once people started getting better guns and um, more DPS, then wasn't such an issue. Um, Executioner, Dead Bride, and Pyromaniac and Swamp Walker really didn't have any extra things about them that you had to worry about. Once you got to Obstructor, that's where you had like a new mechanic. Instead of just here, shoot shoot this thing sticking out of my back, or blow up the things on my knees. For his for Obstructor's enraged phase, he opened up portals, and these little balls would come out, and they floated towards him, and if he absorbed enough, he would just do a team wipe. And that was interesting, because when I first got to that, I was like, wow, there's an extra mechanic. So that was the beginning of extra stages that you would see in Colossi fights. And then we got to Frostwalker. So Frostwalker, there we go. Frostwalker, Molten Fortress, Gluttony, and Deathstalker is where you really start seeing the advanced ideas behind them start to show up. Now, what they've done is, Frostwalker came out, and his mechanics were pretty tough. Collecting the fireballs and making sure your timing is right so that you could unfreeze the team and you didn't have, your death count get slaughtered. That was pretty cool. And it was hard. It was hard to deal with. But since the golden days of Frostwalker, they have kind of nerfed old boy there. So he doesn't do nearly as much damage, and it's not hard to manage him anymore. So they've really nerfed him into the ground. Molten Fortress showed up with the towers that you had to align, and that was rough. And a lot of the groups that I did in Publix, people just couldn't figure out the positioning. When he goes immune, he jumps down into the bottom of the map, and then he pops back up, and the towers come in, and you got to shoot the towers in the right direction, and you'd see people shooting roly-polies, or two people shooting the same tower, and it's like, guys, you got to spread this out. Everybody takes one, and two of you have to do a little extra. You'd start to see the glaze that could do their launcher attacks and stop all the fireballs coming out, because the fireballs would hit the tower and reset them, and they'd be in a random spot. Again, as the games progress, they've kind of nerfed him as well. The towers don't change. The fireballs will shut them off, but when they come back on, they're automatically aligned. And I tried to do this solo in the old way before they nerfed him, and I could easily get 4 towers up, and I was so close to getting the 5th one before other towers started taking damage from the fireballs. So I don't know. It's possible that if you were fast, I mean, like now that we have the increased sprint speeds and stuff like that, and the grapple recharge times, you might have been able. I mean, you can't do it now because they've changed it, but might have been able to do it solo. But I never could. Got close, but never could. Um, Gluttony shows up. He's got a cannon on his arm that if he charges that cannon, it's a team wipe. And you had to shoot the little impurities into him. Then they came out with a Transcendent mod specifically for Valby that made this fight real easy. But he was tough. And his damage, his attacks hurt. Oh, even with the mods and setups to try to deal with him, man, that would hurt. But he has also been somewhat nerfed. So he doesn't hit as hard, and his gun doesn't charge as fast, and you don't need as many of the impurities to go in there to cool it back down. So he's actually kind of manageable. Then we have the big boy on town right now, or big girl. I'm sorry, I think she's female, but Deathstalker, which added a whole bunch of new mechanics, different than everybody else's stuff. Where you have the clocks, you got the skulls flying out, and you've got the idols that you got to find the correct one and stand in, and you have to stand in it long enough to do the rings, and the snakes that come flying out with the little masks that damage you, and all sorts of crazy stuff happening with this. Plus the fact that it's hard to keep HP up when you're around Deathstalker. Deathstalker likes to take it from you. So, I thought it was kind of neat. It was very hard at first. Once people started getting in the hang of it, they would go. And but yeah, it's I like the direction they were going, where these guys weren't just a ton of HP and you just had to shoot them long enough, and as long as you kept shooting them and didn't die, you could kill them. When we started seeing the obstructor mechanics and everything else in there, so I'm not going to do obstructor. We're going to actually do some of these 4, the specialty ones, I guess you would say. So Frostwalker, Molten Fortress, Gluttony, and Deathstalker. And we're going to talk about the way to approach them, how you want to have a character build, and what you want to basically look for. So let's look at Frostwalker. So he's first. Now, one thing to say here is they give you the recommended specs and what you currently have. And these days it's pretty easy to just blow out the DPS. His DPS is set up for the old days, before weapon cores and all that other stuff. So the guns we have now, it's real easy to just do crazy DPS versus that. But your HP, your defense, and your shield, these numbers will be lower the closer to the left on the list they are. So Deathstalker requires a little more than this guy. But these numbers are, it says recommended. I've gone into fights where I've been nowhere near what they said in any category and still come out just fine. There's times where I overrun one specific category, and it's totally fine. Sorry. So what do we worry about? Well, with the exception of Deathstalker, most of these guys you can defeat if you have a good shield build. Shield over HP, HP over shield. It doesn't really matter. As long as you're excelling in one of them, you'll probably be in pretty good shape. Personally, I like to do the HP now. I used to be a real big shield guy, but they both work. Defense, if you can match these numbers, great. If you can't, it's not going to be the end of the world. The one thing I would pay attention to is whatever the resistance is. At first, I didn't care about this, and I'd be like, Psh, I don't care. I'll go in with 13. What's the matter? I think I could still beat him with my Eugen that I have set up here now. But later on, and especially in like with these Void Abyss guys, the Defiler and the Infernal Walker, and your resistances in the upper levels of the Void Purge are going to really help you out. And I really didn't have that much respect for it. And I kind of learned that that was a mistake, that I should. So now the issue with changing this, what you have to do is you get your resistances through your components. Your modules can affect it as well, but we'll go over the components first so that you get an understanding of this. And each one of these has a different one. So let's look here. Under this invader one, I got my fire resistance, right? So 3656. That is my base fire resistance. For your sensors, that's where you pick up your chill resistance. I'm sorry, what is this? Yeah, your memory will give you electric resistance, and then your toxic resistance is going to show up on your processor. So whichever fight you're going into, like for instance, I need chill resistance, so we're going to look for a better sensor. If you're not facing that element, like say we're going in here, we're going to go against Frostwalker, having toxic resistance, fire resistance, anything like that, it's not doing me any good because there's none of those attacks in here. So it's kind of a wasted spot. So here you see I do have this, I do have toxic resistance on this 100 sonic plate, and which one is it? This one has fire. So I'm really not getting anything from those. So I need to find a sensor that is going to give me some chill resistance. Is it the only one I have? Very well may be. Okay, so we're going to look at, it is the sensor. So what am I carrying right now? Well, I've got HP recovery modifier and MP recovery in combat, which are good perks to have. As far as sensors go, I like having stat bonuses, so it's either going to be like an HP or a defense. And then I like to have what I call combat perks. Let's see. See, I'm not even carrying one that doesn't. Let's find one that doesn't. You know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to get it up there on the screen. Well, down but not out duration. If you're not planning on dying, it's kind of a waste. But if you are a little glass cannony and you could use that extra time to stay up. But there we go. There's a good one. So that module drop rate increase modifier. Yeah, it's great getting modules in these fights, but if yep, I'm invisible right now because we're streaming. But yeah, this module drop rate increase modifier. The reason we do that, like, yeah, it's great if you're farming for modules or you kind of want a module to drop. But if I didn't have defense and HP on this module, and it was something like Eceive, distance, or duration, and module drop rate, those are what I call non-combat ones. My farming modules have all this stuff that I use for Bunny. And let's see here. Let's go to my preset, and this is my farming build. And you'll see I've got a module drop rate and Kuiper shard. I've got XP and drop rates. I've got gold drop rate, firearm proficiency, item acquisition, equipment drop rate increase. So these are all built for me to get a bunch of items, which is why this is a farming build. But if you're going to be fighting Colossi, you may not be worth it having those non-combat builds on. Sorry, get another drink. So, like I said, we got to get this sensor on. the HP recovery modifier and the MP recovery in combat are both pretty good, but I can go ahead and sacrifice them if I really have to, um, especially against a Frostwalker, because I'm not going to be using this too much. But I definitely want to make sure that that 646 HP doesn't go away. So we're going to come over here and we're going to go to our storage and we're going to see if we have, I don't have too many things in here. Let's see. See, we got a center that's going to have some chill resistance. There we go. That's pretty nice. We'll take that. We'll see if that's a good one. That doesn't help us. We'll grab that one just in case. Oh, that's the defense version of the one that I have now. Let's see. I think that's going to be it, right? Yep, and then this one's, see, the reason I have the diamond up here is because this one has farming stuff on it, like that consumable drop rate, which is pretty nice to have. But you know what? They said that eventually we're going to be able to implant perks on components as well. Like these things, like the shield recovery out of combat, the consumable drop rate. We're going to be able to do those just like we do with reactors and the weapon types. Which, if that's the case, that'll be huge. For me, personally, I've done really well with reactors. I have not done good with components. And, you know, there's a lot of other content creators that has on there that that they have it on there that they still constantly are trying to farm components to get really awesome the really awesome perks that they want. And it's good to, I don't want anybody to have to share my misery, but it is good to know that we have similar problems, that I'm not the only one experiencing this. But so that'll be huge. But we're going to take this one off, and as long as I can maintain that 646 HP and pick up chill resistance, we'll be pretty good. Let's see, that one doesn't have it. That one doesn't have it. I know I grabbed some. Where'd they go? So question here is if I'm going to lose 646 in HP, but I'll pick up a bunch of defense. I don't know about that. Shield and mat, it's not going to help much. There we go. So this one's going to keep our HP the same way. We'll get a little bit of extra MP out of it, but we're going to pick up that chill resistance. So when you look over to the left there and you see my defense, shield, and HP, it shouldn't change my HP. I don't think it'll change anything, actually. Yeah, all it did was change my MP down there at the bottom. All right, so now I picked up 3729 as far as my, hold on one second, as far as the I'm gonna hit, hold on a second, I'm gonna hit the be right back and we'll catch up in just a second. Let me answer this guy. Okay, so there we go. Somebody's asking me some questions and talking about talking about what we were doing some fights last night. We're trying to analyze damage, but sometimes it's real hard to see those damage numbers. So, um, but yep. Okay. So anyway, now if we go in, sorry, there we go. If we go in here and look, we went from 13 or 11 or whatever it was up to 3742. So that is our base. And that's how you get some resistance, is through one of the specific modules, depending on which one you need. Now you can make this number go up higher by working on your modules. So for instance, I have my Defiler build here. I have a Deathstalker, and then I have a main. So I'm running some perfect antivenom, some toxic, maximized toxic stuff. That's not going to help me at all going up against Frostwalker. Here is just a general. This is like a main one that I do with missions where it's not really fighting a huge bad guy. The differences here is you'll see I go with Overwhelming Shield for Deathstalker. We'll talk about that when we get there. I also have the Anti-Venom and then Defiler because he's a Venom. This one I did have set up for Infernal Walker, and it was more fire preventative based stuff. But you see, this would actually be terrible to take in right now because I get 180% toxic resistance, and I get that 4,600, and then I get a bonus here. But I don't end up having, that this toxic bonus isn't going to matter. And we'll look real quick here. Hold on. If I were to go into this Void Intercept and hit here, you see I got 25,000 on a recommended 10 for toxic. So he's built to bonus out toxic stuff. It would kind of be stupid to go in to a Frostwalker kill with 25,000 in toxic resistance on a guy who's not going to throw toxic stuff at me. So now I'm down here to 37. But the question is, how much effort do you want to put into a build in order to acclimate to every single one of these guys? For instance, Frostwalkers does chill stuff, and so does Dead Bride. But you can see there's a whole lot of space between these two. Executioner's electric. You do get quite a few toxic ones in here. You get, I believe, Obstructor does toxic, yep. And Swamp Walker, of course, does toxic. And Devourer does toxic. As does Deathstalker. So toxic is the most common one. And then you get fire with Pyromaniac, of course, and Molten Fortress. But your chill guys are going to be your Frostwalker, and then Gluttony is also a chill. So I don't want to go in here and start making all these changes. You get 3 of these little preset things. You can add more. A little expensive, 100 coins just to get a 4th one up there. And I don't know how many. I don't know if you can keep going across or not. Or the question you have to ask yourself is there a better way? Like, can my main do it? I think so. This is a wasted perk because I don't need HP Collector. There's not enough bad guys in there to kill, because every time you kill an enemy, you can get 10% of your HP back. This Deathstalker build will probably work pretty well. But I can drop this perfect anti-venom. But if I do that, then I'm going to need, what is it, chill antibody? Sorry. Oh, cold antibody, I'm sorry. And this is a, what is it, Celerine? And as you can see, I've got this slotted here. So honestly, if I take this out, I just have to remember that for Deathstalker, I got to put it back in. We can take this off, and I can go all the way back down here where I just was, and go to Oh, let it move. We can take that, pop that in there. And this is a shield build, so my HP disappears, but my shield goes up. But it takes very little changing. And we'll go ahead and save that. And let's take a look at what those numbers, I swear to God, take a look at what those numbers look like now. All right, so we have crossed the line for the, excuse me, we crossed the line for the resistance. So what do we have here? Well, we know that the HP is going to be minimal 1 because I'm on an overwhelming shield build. So that's never going to be close. But that's why I'm 9 times what I'm supposed to be here. So there's the win. Almost a million DPS versus 200k I need. Defense is not good. I'm a third of what I'm supposed to have. But I think between that shield and that resistance, I should be okay. Yeah, I should be all right. If I wanted to make those numbers go up, I just have to play with the build and have to play with these guys. Let's see, HP, and HP. So I'm pretty much got as much HP. This one's a little low. I could get rid of it because, again, I don't need that toxic resistance. So let's take a look. Actually, let's get rid of what? Let's get rid of these things because these are all the little guys I just got. Yep, we'll break them. Okay, so if we could find a processor that gives us more than that 484 on HP. Well, there's one right there. Shield recovery modifier. That's actually kind of good. That might be decent for what we're trying to do. 484 HP. Max shield goes up and Sieve display time versus item acquisitions and shield recovery. So that's interesting. Don't need toxin resistance. Shield recovery and max shield. That's not a bad one. That's pretty much the same one, isn't it? No, we got a gold version here. Huh. Let's see. That's it. So, what's that one do? Oh, equipment drop rate. So this one, like I said, this one wasn't so bad there. The HP goes up and our shield recovery goes up. So what we'll do is we're going to keep an eye on that shield number. Right now it is 18. So if we equip this one, it goes up to 19. But we really didn't change anything else. Let's see what happens when we put this one on. Because this one gives us that same HP bonus, but it picks up a little bit extra shield. Oh, wait, no. This one's actually one. That one's 1 point higher. What does this do? Well, that one lets us hit 20. That one lets us hit just about the same thing, 20. So, All right, well, let's leave this one on because we got our extra HP, which put us back over to 20,000 on that. We didn't need the toxin stuff, so let's see, what do we got? Yeah, we're at 83, we're at 20k. I'm happy with those numbers. I don't want to build too much into this fight just because they nerfed him. If this was the old Frostwalker, it'd be a totally different story. We would be definitely building a little more dedicated than this. But like I said, since they nerfed him and we're a lot stronger gun-wise and skill-wise, this should be fine. So I'm going to go into a private fight real quick. And my boy Eugen here is straight gun, so, you know, we don't have to worry about skills. Skills are just going to be keeping us alive in here. Eventually, I hope to enter. There we go. Okay, so standard little gray map. Put our cool gun on that makes us run fast and does a bunch of extra damage. And we're going to head up here. So the first thing I want to do is I just want to tank some damage. See what he can do to my shields. Let's get it to a nice spot where we can see it. Oh, perfect. Go ahead, shoot away, big guy. Alright, didn't do much there. Alright, so we're tanking things pretty well. I'm only down a little bit of shields. It's already coming back. He has shoulders and centerpiece. He also got sensors on the top there, but we really can't see them, so. Feel like I should be getting those. That one I missed. There we go. Good lord. Alright, so we're going to grapple. And the reason we're going to grapple is you can see those little sensors and things right there. Those are the extra damage points, but if you blow this up, do you see that little fireball that's sticking on my side? You can see that little red icon, I believe is the one. These are the things you need to have in order for to survive this guy. Although, like I said, he definitely... Okay, see where I got the 2? It's the first little green box closest to me. That countdown is showing you... once that drops down, I'll drop down to 1. Alright, we got a bunch of things moved, but yeah. So now my little firepower is dropping down. The object is when the timer hits right about 8.5 to 7. Actually, 8 to 7.5 is when you want to pick up enough fireballs to survive the blast. You can also sometimes get them from killing these guys, but it's not as common as blowing up his parts. And if you can leave them on the ground without picking them up, they do eventually despawn, but... Ooh, about to die. Well, that's fine. Alright, so his immune stage, he used to be terrible. He would run around constantly. It was crazy. Now he just stands there nice and polite. And here is where we're really going to make up with the fireballs. Each one of those things that we blow up is going to drop one. And now you'll see I've got that red circle around me. That will keep me from freezing to death. But I got to make sure that I keep that up until I get to that phase. And it used to happen quite often before, but not so much anymore. They've toned him down quite a bit. Let's see if we can get him to do it. I don't know, we might just kill him beforehand. I'm going to let it go. I think I've got enough of those. Oh, look, see that one popped up from there. Yeah, he's just not doing it anymore. He would have already done that attack by now, but like I said, since they nerfed him, not so much. This will work because I'll be able to pick these guys up, and I don't think he's going to get out of this. I think blowing up those little kneecaps is going to kill him. I'm stuck shooting the gun. Yep, he's dead. So, yeah. He used to... Well, I'm almost dead myself. He used to be a lot worse. But it's not so bad anymore. Like I said, it used to be about the 8 to 7.5 is when he would fire off that freezing thing that would team wipe everybody. He doesn't do it as much anymore. They've backed that off, and the fireballs used to dissipate so much quicker. I had one stream where I was doing this with a group, and person picked up the fireballs too early, and it dissipated just as he got to me. I'm going to hit this thing, and we're actually going to do that again, but we're going to do it... I got a lot of patterns, wow. We're going to do this in a public match, and we'll see if anybody out there is trying to do it. It'll take us a little longer to kill him, because he's going to, you know, have his full health instead of being reduced for the one player. But yeah, so the point being here is I didn't have to change too much. All I did was swap out a perfect venom for a cold antibody, and switched out one piece of gear, this one down here, in order to get the HP, and then switch this guy out in order to get chill resistance. One module. Didn't take too many changes, and as you can see there, it wasn't too bad. Wrong button. So let's go in here and we'll see if anybody is doing Frostwalker. That says 43 seconds, so maybe we'll get in there pretty quick. Yeah, not too bad. Yep, in his heyday, this guy was a menace. Now, not so much. So my first thought as a Eugen here is my job's to keep the team alive. But we're not going to do that. Well, yeah, we are, but I'm not going to focus as heavily on it. So as you can see, these are a little tougher. Got that one. And you can pick up the fireballs, but I guarantee we're not going to need it. And he's dead. So you see we got 2 electrics and a chill person in here, and he still went down pretty quick. But he used to be quite the force. Not so much anymore. Oh, look at that, secret garden. So what did we... Oops, sorry. What did we get? Nothing too spectacular. I got some mobile strike. And just some basic weapons. So, yep, there you go. Kind of a one and done type of guy. There's no reason to get too excited for him. But pretty much any character with a decent amount of shields or HP, and at least try to meet the resistance for whatever attribute he's throwing at you, shouldn't be too hard to take him out. Oh, hi, BS. What's going on? Okay, so next up is some Molten Fortress. So he used to be quite a bad guy too, just because of those towers. But like I said, they made some changes to him. They lessened his attacks a little bit. The towers, whenever the fireballs would hit them, they would break, and then you'd have to go reset it. If everybody on the team wasn't up on doing that, then you would you'd have some difficulty where you'd go and do 3 towers, and you turn and look, and across the map there's one that's down. So you're like, okay, somebody gonna get that? I'll keep these alive. One of yours would go down. Then people would start leaving. So it was kind of crappy. But I'm actually gonna keep on the shield build for this. It still works, even though my defense is pretty low comparatively. But now this chill resistance that I have is doing me absolutely no good. So I know I got to go in and change that. And we do that by first not caring about this guy anymore. So we can switch off to something that's going to keep our HP, and that's the main one. So we got to make sure the HP stays high, and then whatever else we can pull is fine. This is probably the one. That's the one I normally use for that. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so like I said, chill resistance, you're going to find on which part? Oh, we don't need, yeah, no, we don't need chill, we need fire, sorry. So fire resistance comes off of your auxiliary power. I got a double HP one, but I already have fire resistance on this. If I didn't, losing 14, almost 1500 HP, that is hard to do, especially on a shield build. If I take that off, my numbers go way down. And honestly, it wouldn't be a bad idea if I could pick up another invader auxiliary power, because you'll see there, if I have two of them, I get an extra 12% shields. Doing 20, that's going to basically be about 2000, I think. Yeah, so I could go up to about 22 just by switching out one of these with another invader auxiliary set. So let's see if we have one of those. We'll try that. We'll set it to memory and we'll see. Do I have? I got a bunch of slayers, don't I? I think I may have put everything into my storage. Just doing some spring cleaning, and let's see. Do I have? So I don't need this. That's the one I don't want to get rid of. Yep. They look different, but I'm not good enough to know what we have there. Okay, so there's a 646 HP. That's not bad. Toxin resistance with an HP boost. It's not bad. That's a great one. I don't need the toxin resistance, but eventually we might. Let's take that out, and let me show you what the change is there. So because I have an invader auxiliary, if we switch this one out with... Oh wait, it was this guy. Sorry. Almost... Oh, there it is. That wasn't it. Am I confused? Oh, yes I am, right? There it is. Okay. So for this guy here, I'm dropping some shield and some HP. Let's see what happens. I'm at 20,000 dead even. If we equip this, doesn't help me that much. I think the reason it doesn't help me that much is because I was losing so much the base shield that I had before. But we'll keep that, you know. Screw it. We don't really need it. Again, this is somebody that we don't have to build way too much into. But this can go away. And we need the heat one, which I may not honestly be able to slot into place. Let's just do the search for this. Antibody. Okay, so here's the heat antibody. but it is slotted properly, so we can go ahead and just drop that in. Boop. Sure, we'll go ahead and save that. And let's take a look and see what we're looking at to do some Molten Fortress. So we're just slightly under, but I'm okay with that. We're not going to be taking too much damage from Happy Boy here, but it's close enough. Defense, again, is low, but we're 10 times the shield we need. Should be fine. Alright, so for this guy, his destructible parts are huge. They're very easy to see and hit. The removable parts are just your armor and your core up here. It's like a little second head looking thing. The main thing about this guy was those towers, but we can do this solo now. I always wondered what they were going to do when they made this solo, because you just couldn't get to those towers fast enough. And the answer was the towers used to get hit by the fireballs and it would break, and then it would pop back up and it'd be in a different position. Now, when it breaks, it pops back up and it's in the same position. They also made the little arrow move much faster. You used to have to shoot it and wait like 3 seconds and shoot it and wait 3 seconds. So it was pop, 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 pop. It took a long time. Now they've made it so you could do these things. These things move way fast. There's almost no cooldown from when you shoot it to where it moves. Alright. So what we'll do is customary. We'll take a few hits and see how our defense and our antibodies are working. Come on, buddy. Moderate damage. It's not bad. I kind of didn't want to do that, but oh well. Alright, so here comes the towers, right? It's going to be a total of 6 of them all the way around. We'll kill these guys because they're just annoying. And here's the suppressor. So there you see the arrow, and we need it to be pointing to the right. So you shoot it, and it makes a line. Then you just move to the next one. Put some health back on. Sometimes you get lucky like this. It's only 2 quick beeps and away it goes. Sometimes it's going to be a bunch. Hopefully we'll get 4 of them set. Oh, this one's a bunch. Hopefully we'll get 4 of them set up, and then there we go. Then we'll start losing them, but they'll pop back up. There's that one. Alright, so this one's down. We just gotta wait a second. I'll take the hit. I don't care. There we go. Yep. And now once we've got them all, his immunity phase is over, and he's gonna behave a little better. We're gonna see if we can take this out. One good thing about old boy is he's very slow moving. Ah, man. I'll pick up some ammo, that's good. He could have just died, I mean.
Beginning emergency transmission of the frenzy suppressor.
Alright, here we go. Shot that one through the fireball, didn't even see it. You don't really have to aim. You can hip fire these. You don't normally get your gun, your recoil doesn't pull it off enough since you're kind of pulse firing. Last one's got to go all the way around. Oh, look at that. Kind of got over on that one, didn't we? Alright, let's finish this boy off here. Come on, dude. And he's done. We got transpond. What do we get? Ambushed. Let the dog pick all these up, but... Alright, there's that. Same thing, we'll do it as a group. Let's see if there's other people that are trying to do this. Hey, Enduring Legacy piece. Nice. But yes, he used to be a lot worse. And the towers were, for some reason, a very confusing part for everybody. It didn't go well. You could usually see damage was done and everything was going great, and then he'd go into that immunity phase and the towers would come in, and then it all just fell apart. And like I said before, even solo, the best I could do was 4 towers before they all started dropping down, and then I could just never get caught back up. But yeah, it had its moments. All right, so let's do public. Not gonna change anything. Pretty much same situation. Any character that you've got a decent number of shields and you can get that fire resistance pretty close or over, that's be all she wrote. Especially since they made the changes. So this one's not too hard. You can get a good Valby piece, Transcendent mod that you're going to use when fighting Gluttony from this fight. And since it's not that bad to do, well, look at all the Ajaxes. What's up, fellers? So when you're here in a group, right, and you know the towers are going to be coming down, you don't all want to be standing together, like holding hands and being fun. So what I usually do is I'll go to either the left or the right side. This is pretty decent. We're all spread out. This is nice. And the towers that spawn here and here are the ones I'm going to worry about. I'm not going to worry about the other ones. That's for my teammates. Good grapple. All right, so he is he's going to be going, he's going to be frenzying pretty soon, so I want to be in position to grab a tower as soon as it drops down. Here we go. So I'll grab this one, and I'm just going to keep working my way to the right. I'm not even standing in front of one. He's got that one, so here we go. Alright, so yeah, you shouldn't have gone this way, you should have gone the other way. Just kind of gotta keep track of where your teammates are, and don't all bunch up. This should be fine. You're about to get that. There it is. We'll take this time to reload. Let's heal everybody. Find some ammo in the ground, so that's great. Yep, he grappled that, so that's fine. I don't quite know if we're going to get enough damage in to kill him. We might. Oh yeah, we definitely will before he enrages. He's about to go down. There we go. Alright. Not as many patterns for this guy as we did for others. Divine Punishment. That'll be selling that to ETA. So, let's take a look here. Nothing too spectacular. Some regular guns. The volcanic memory is good for a fire guy. So SMO or honestly, Lepic should have a Slayer set, but I don't think I've ever really set up the volcanic ones. And having the Force set is questionable as to whether or not that's good. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, this one's pretty easy now. Like I said, they did nerf the crap out of this guy, and especially making him private. He's handleable. Before, the big stopping point on this guy was those stupid towers. Man, it just, I could not tell you how many games, how many battles I've done with people, and it just all fell apart at the towers. Everything was going great until the towers, and then everything just fell apart. So, there we go. Now we're going to get into the fun stuff. So our next one up is, oh, come on. There we go. It's Mr. Gluttony. So Gluttony is, again, a chill resistance. And we can 10 times the shield. They're claiming they want a ton of defense. Their DPS is only twice now. So this guy's getting a little bit tougher. But we are going to actually switch. Well, actually we won't. We'll stay with Eugen. But we need to put him back on the cold. So to do that, we go here. We don't need the toxin resistance, but I think we might keep it just because. And that should be here. Should be the memories that chill, right? Nope, that's electric. So it's a sensor. There we go. So, do we have one? Remember, do we have one that has HP? Yeah, there it is. That'll keep us at our 20,000. We still have the invader set on, so we're picking up the extra there. But this gives us our chill resistance that we were looking for. And then we just have to remember to go back in here, and we need to take you off. And I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but mine, I'll like be typing this in and then halfway through it just exits out. And there is a reason you'll see here why I have those two set up. This does allow me to bounce between the antibodies, except for electric and toxic I can't do. But the higher up guys aren't doing the toxic and electric, and if they are, I have builds that are way different, so thus the Deathstalker / Defiler type stuff. But anyway, so here we go. So we've got ourselves a nice little cold antibody. We'll save the changes, and let's see what we're looking at now for a gluttony fight. So we're at 83. Would love to get that higher, but it's going to require some changes to the build, and I don't really need it, especially with Eugen, since I could put some health back. That is one thing about doing all these fights that you'll see is I'm constantly using my health to my duty and sacrifice to get my health bar back up. So I tank a little bit more damage than I'm supposed to, and because I know I can put it back. If you don't have Eugen, you're going to rely on health boxes or another teammate to have Eugen. So you may have to play a little more defensively, and we're actually going to do that. I'm only going to do this fight once with Eugen, and then we're actually going to switch a character. But for this fight, this thing right here, can't spin him around, unfortunately, as far as I know, but this gun right here is huge. When he spawns in, like this one you could see, this one takes up a huge amount of the screen. And right about here on the other side, there is a window on this gun. And that window is going to be like completely black and gray. As you do damage to him, if you look here, he's got like a little piston right there in the stomach. It's got that purple color. That gun is going to start building up a charge. When it does, he's going to shoot it up into the air and team wipes you. If you're doing this solo, it's not such a big deal. You just lost one death count. But if you're in a team of 4, you just lost 4 lives and, match failure. So what you do is, this one was the first time that we ever really had damage mitigation, where you had to shoot him a little bit, and then you had to cool that gun down. And the way you get that purple charge out of the gun is with what's called an impurity. There's like these little mine things, like the driller pile driver things from Sterile Lands Special Op. It's not exactly, but it's similar. I called it kind of a fountain. But what it's doing is it's popping these little white snowball looking things up into the air. And if you shoot those snowballs towards him, he will absorb that, and it takes the power out of this gun. So you want to damage him, get the gun up to around, I don't know, half. It depends on, how you get comfortable with it. You could go higher. But get the gun up to about half, and then take some time and shoot some of those impurities into him to cool the gun down, and then go back to damaging. So you're just kind of going to go back and forth between shooting him and shooting impurities into him. And you do that until he goes into his frenzy mode. When he does that, in addition to the white balls that are popping out, you're going to see these purple ones. And they just fly up into the air and start floating towards him wherever he is on the map. And if he absorbs a purple one, that fills up a bunch on the gun, like 25%. Don't quote me, but it's a bunch. But that fills the gun up real fast. You don't want to let him absorb the purple ones. If you shoot a purple one close to him, it causes an explosion, and that damages his frenzy, and that's how you drop him out of frenzy, is have enough explosions. But also, the white balls will have these little electricity lines that go to purple ones that they're close to, and if you can blow them up with the purple one, because when you shoot the purple one, anything with a line to it's going to explode as well, that will also damage him. So you can do it with just the straight purple balls, but if you can get a couple white ones with lines on them in there and they're close to him, that's pretty cool too. It's easier to do as a team. Doing it by yourself is kind of tricky, kind of hard to do. But you'll see it when we get in there. But after enough explosions, he'll drop out, and then it's simply just shoot him some more, and then shoot some more impurities, and shoot him some more, and shoot some impurities until he's dead. The couple things with this: number one, this is the first guy that's going to give you a specific weapon. This is how you get Peacemaker, which is a great gun for Valby. But yeah, you need to, every time you kill him, he's going to drop a part for this. And it's just like any other gun. You got to collect the 4 parts, craft them, and then, you craft the 3 parts, and then one of them's a code. And once you get all those, then you could make the gun. So in order to get the gun, you need to kill him at least 4 times. And then you need to make 4 copies of it in order to max the gun out. So yeah, you got to kill this guy at least 16 times if you want a fully functioning Peacemaker. And also keep in mind that the first time you kill him, you needed that part because you didn't have any. But the next time you kill him, there's a bit of a chance that the part he's going to drop is the one you just got from him. So you may start getting some doubles. I'd be really surprised if you can kill this guy 16 times and get all 4 upgrades into a, actually it's 20. But yeah, because you need the 4 for the gun and then 4 copies. So yeah, 20 times you got to kill this dude. If you can get 20 kills and get everything done, that is amazing. I got a bunch of the same parts so many times from these kills. So, but if you just stick at it, you will eventually get the get what you need. He's a little intimidating. He was worse. He used to do blast attacks that were way more damaging. He used to run all over the map, and every time he came out of an immunity phase, the little fountains would move further away from him. So it took a little more effort to get the white ball's impurities into him. But they changed it so he doesn't do as much damage, the gun doesn't fill up as fast as it used to, and those little fountains never move. So he's really controllable. The trick is you just can't do too much damage. It's going to be a little rough for me to show you that cannon by myself because he's going to constantly be aggroed to me. But we'll see if we can. But we're going to go in here private with Eugen. Not enough chill resistance, but I think it'll be okay. Shields are okay. Defense could be better, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Pretty standard arena. We've done this one before. Yep. Alright, so there's going to be a fountain directly in front of me, right in here. Right here. There's going to be one over to this side, and there's going to be one right over there. There's his gun. Yeah, it's going to be real hard to see that window. There it is. See it? The little purple line. Saw it for just a second, and here's the fountain. So the first thing we got to do is put some damage on Happy Boy. And I usually do this fight when I'm by myself. I'll try to keep that fountain between me and him. And as you see there, I'm shooting that one ball while I'm trying to shoot him. So it kind of works out. Since I'm by myself, there's really no point in doing that. 2 and 3. He always does 3 shots. Let's see if I can get a look at that gun. Like I said, it's going to be a little difficult unless I can get him to do a melee. There it is. Thank you. So you see that purple line's going up just a tad. Not much. Which one did I do? I did that one. Dude. There we go. Right over top of the gun. The next time I'll grab the other one so we can actually see what I'm talking about here. But let me go ahead and drop this. And boom. So now he falls down. We'll come over here. There you go. See the gun? Way up. But those purple things are going in, and you'll see they'll start to come down. So since we did that, we need to cool that gun down a bit. So I'm just going to shoot the balls towards him. And once they get close enough, they'll kind of auto-track into him. And it doesn't take many. In fact, that should be enough to have it almost completely down. Let's get some health. We're back to full. There's that. Now we'll go up and grapple. We'll get a real good look at his cannon once I get this grapple off. There you go. So the glowing thing is because he's almost frenzied. But I'm going to let him swing around. You can see it's not very high at all. So we did great from where it was to where it is now. And we're just going to come back over here. You can see by keeping them in between there, that does real well to be able to shoot him. I'm going to kill these guys. Hopefully somebody will drop some ammo. No? Not today. There we go, finally. Good lord. Alright, so now we're going to just shoot him and enrage him. Should be pretty close. There he is. Alright, so this is tricky part because he's going to still be shooting at me and there's some purple balls. And you can see the line that was going to another purple one. So I'm just going to shoot this and there's the explosion. There's the line between those two, but I'm not going to be able to do it all by myself, so we're just going to go ahead and do the purple ones. 2, and there you go. You just got to make sure you let them get close. Boom. See that? He didn't like that at all. There you go. Now he's done. But his gun is pretty full, so we're going to head over here. Get behind it again. Takes a while to reload. And there is gravity on them, so you shoot them above his head, they come down on him like little raindrops. It's farther away than I thought. Oh, I was in the process of healing. But that's alright. And that should be plenty. Still got like 5 minutes left, so that's great. I'll just shoot some more balls at him, and he's getting close. Now, normally you'd want to shoot the crap out of him, but I need to get rid of these guys, because look at them all. And they're going to start hitting me and knocking me into things, so... Plus there'll be some, hopefully some ammo laying on the ground sooner or later. Yep. Oh, he's in his rage. Shoot. There we go. That was close. Wasn't even paying attention. So I'm just scanning the sky for the purple ones. Let's see if we can get a couple of these guys in there. That would be awesome. We might have absorbed that one. Alright, so now we're just going to go back over here. We'll shoot the balls towards him again to get some health before he kills us. That should be plenty. We'll get a couple more just for the fun of it. It's getting a little crowded over here, though. That's for sure. And he's dead. So it's just a matter of position and monitoring that big cannon on his side. And cooling off this gun when it's too high and shooting the purple things so that he doesn't absorb them and kill you. A lot of patterns for this guy. A lot of patterns. Hey, Luna. Alright, so now we are going to go back to Albion because this was also one of the... I didn't look for see which Peacemaker part I got. Oops. We'll look in the next one. But this was one of the first ones that had a module for a character, a descendant, that was specifically designed to deal with that guy, with that Colossi. So we are going to switch to our Valby setup. And if you look at the descendant modules, I have one specifically made for Gluttony. And it's going to have two different things on it that make it a specific Gluttony build. The first off is this spiral tidal wave. So everybody knows if you play Valby, the boing 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 grenade. This replaces that with something that's a direct fire projectile. It's like a spiral, obviously spiral tidal wave, but it's a direct line of sight thing. So it shoots straight off and then psh, does a little splash of water. But it says there attracts Gluttony's impurities. So if you shoot one of those grenade things through one of those fountains or around it, any of those little impurity balls are going to do the same thing that like Lepic's traction grenade does. It's going to draw them towards it. So what that does is that lets me just shoot my tidal wave grenade my number one, this thing, into a bunch of those impurities, and it'll just track towards him. So I don't have to stand there and shoot like I did before, which is awesome. The second thing is this antifreeze solution. This gives you some chill resistance, a little bit additional, another 29%, and it gives you frostbite immunity. Now, I stayed away from those fountains when I was playing as Eugen, but I can get a little closer with Valby because if those balls explode, it's just like when the bad guys freeze you, like those little floating torso dudes. That's the frostbite, which stops you dead, and that's real bad in this fight, especially when you're doing it by yourself, because uh, everything's going to shoot at you, and you're just going to have to tank that damage, which not real good, you know. So the antifreeze solution keeps you from getting stuck and frozen. The only thing we're going to have to do, though, is I'm pretty sure we do not, yeah, I think we're running a full Slayer set on her. So we do not have our chill resistance on here. Let's see which one would be a good one for her. Now, she is not a shield build, as you can see. She's built for a lot stronger HP, but a ton of defense. So we'll put on, I guess this one will work. Yeah. And we get some extra general rounds, which is good. I mean, the Slayer set will be fine. Yeah, the scout and sniper critical hit's not going to help us, so we're not even really going to worry about that. But let's take a look at what this setup for Valby has as far as taking on Gluttony. So she's way low on that chill resistance. We might want to do a little bit of work on that, and as you can see, we're not as strong as normally we are. Usually we'll have at least 2 categories, maybe 3. Sometimes we even have 4 categories where we exceed the recommended. In this case, DPS is the only one that we're doing it in. And again, like I said, as Eugen, I tend to tank a lot more damage than is necessary. Can't really do that with Valby this time. But I can shoot the bad guys, and the HP blocks and all that stuff. I'll make better use of them, because with 1 HP on Eugen, I wasn't making any use out of those things. So that'll help keep my health up in exchange for the missing Eugen. But the big thing is I can put a lot more damage on him because I can shoot my grenade, that spiral tidal wave, and it's going to attract those little impurity balls, and I don't have to worry about them anymore. So it speeds this up. We're going to go in again on private, just so you can see the way it works. And then we'll do a couple public matches. But everything's pretty much going to be the same. I'm going to use the same Enduring Legacy. That one's got cores on it. It's got extra Colossus damage. Makes me sprint faster. Does a good job of killing things. We just got to be a little more defensive, and we don't have to pay as much attention to shooting the balls at him. So here's that spiral tidal wave, and you'll see it just drags him right to him. Now he moves around a bunch, but oop, I drew him in. So I can just do this, and now I can shoot him. I don't have to worry about the impurity balls. They're just going to go directly into him. It does have range limitations. As you can see, that cannon has nothing on it, even though I've already got half his shield gone. So this allows me to be a little more aggressive with this guy. Now, see how far back he is? I'm going to have to actually do this again. But he walked up into it, so perfect. think I'm going to get that second grapple on. Once we do this, we'll go over there and take a look at that gun and see what level of charge it's on. Give up some DPS. So see, it's got some charge. So we'll do that, and that'll take care of it. Alright, so he's immune now. We got plenty of rounds. So we're just going to take a look for the purple things. Look at that, we got some more bullets already. Here's one. Boom. Now you also have to be careful because sometimes his movements will they will block the way the gun, like you can't shoot the purple ball because he'll turn on you. Like there. Do you see how I got all those immunes instead of actually hitting him? Alright, there he's out of it. Oh, look out, dude. So we're going to go back here. We'll get a couple... Oh, he's backing away. So they're going to drop short. That should be a good one. I think the last little one missed, but there we go. So those should hit him, and we're just going to pound away. Ooh, somebody's angry. Oh, I thought he was going to shoot it left. He shot it right. That's a good shot on his part. But that's okay, because we... Oh, look at that. They're going to be way back. His gun should be in great shape, but I'm going to just do this since we're here. He's got... And he's dead. So Bobby makes it a lot easier. I wish I hadn't died there, but hey, that happens. And let's see, we got what part? Peacemaker blueprint. So, yep, that's what you got to do. It's not too bad. Now we're going to go in with a group, and we'll double Luna. The issue that you have when you go in with a group is it's very easy for me to mitigate that damage, to do some damage and then do some cooling down, and do some damage and do some cooling down. When I get into a group, I can't really control how much damage the other people are doing. So if somebody's just going apeshit ham on him, they're going to fill that gun up quick. So as Valby, I'm going to really focus more on making sure his cannon stays low. Instead of playing the center one, I'll try to play the left and the center. But with other people there, I'll be able to see that cannon a lot more, and so will you, which will be good, so we'll get eyes on it. But like I said, I'm going to focus mainly on just keeping that cannon cool and then just doing DPS every so often. Because that's my job. My job is to keep the cannon down as a Valby. If I'm not Valby, then I'm shooting the balls in and doing damage and basically keeping it the same way I would play normal, but I'm going to pay way more attention to his gun and make sure it's not charged. And I can't control what the other players are doing, but I can control what I'm doing. So I don't want to do that. So let's go in here. We're going to go back in. We're going to pick Gluttony, and we're going to do a public. In the event that there's another Valby in here, I don't ever want to be next to her, because if she shoots off her tidal wave, if she has it, which most likely she will, It's not the case because there's not one here. But in the event that she had, there was another one. I don't want to, because our tidal waves will fight each other. She'll shoot it and then I'll shoot it, and they'll just sit there and zigzag, and they're not going where they're supposed to. So since there's only one Valby, I'm just going to actually keep control of this one. And let's see what happens. Yeah, see, they're already putting bullets on him. Why is he so mad at me? Yep, you see how they curved in there? And I'm just kind of staying focused on making sure that cannon stays low. Let's go take a look at it if we can. Yep. You see that window? Real nice. Let's do some damage since we're part of the group. Go get him, Eugen. Always 3 shots, so... Alright, now we're looking for purple ones. But I don't have to keep an eye on all 3. All I gotta do is look at mine. I'm assuming the teammates will watch it. But I can do this to try to get a couple of those... the white ones in range, which will drop him much faster. Somebody's shooting him way too soon. What are you doing? Alright, let's look at the gun. It's in great shape. There we go. This isn't good. Why is Eugen not doing the heals? Knew I was going to take that one. So he's a little farther back, so we're gonna... Alright, Eugen's dead. Cannon's in great shape, so I can afford to come over here. Oh, stop it. It's not good for me to... Ooh, hey, stop that. It's not good for me to be doing revives there. Like I said, well, yeah, that gun's getting hot, isn't it? I'm not going for that one. Alright, that actually totally cooled it down, so... Alright, so we got another immunity phase. Just gonna reload, and like I said, we just look for the purple ones. There you go, you got to see some of the ricochets anyway. Or the chain reaction. Guys, gotta get that one. Guys, somebody gotta get that one. There we go. Alright, I don't know what his gun's at, because he won't show it to me. Oh, it's really low. Hey, there's nothing in it. Let's just kill him. Skadoosh. Alright, what part did we get? Ah, see, we got another blueprint, so that was a double. Thanks. But, yep, so there's the fight. It's not bad. There's worse things in the world. Like I said, if there's a second Valby there, I go to a different fountain, just so that we don't fight. Hey, what's going on, Levy? Just saw that. Sorry, I was trying to keep these guys alive and doing this. So far, it's been pretty good. Got started a little late, but we're rocking it. What time is it, by the way? It's getting close. Let's see here. But yeah, if there's a second Valby, we don't want to fight because bad things will happen. So I would no. What I like to do is I'll see which one the other person's going to, and then I'll just go to a different one. And if I notice that they're there with me, then I'll rotate to a different one as well. So I can't communicate to them or tell them, hey, I got this one or whatever. But honestly, you know, be all right. You know what I mean? So there you go. That's all the way up to here, and now we get to do Deathstalker. But before we do that, I'm going to take just a bit of a break. We're going to get a drink of water. I'm going to hit the bathroom real quick. Like I said, we got a snow and ice storm going on outside, which is terrible. And Mrs. Rabbit's going to be on her way home soon. So she had to, unfortunately, drive in it. So I want to make sure she's okay. But, yeah, so give me, I don't know, maybe five minutes the most. And we'll get right back to it. And we'll be hanging out with Deathstalker. Okay, she's running just a little bit behind because of the weather, so we'll get back into this. But I'll probably take us back to a quick intermission once she gets home just to make sure everything was okay. I don't like it when she's driving in the bad weather. Got my phone sitting here just in case. So that way she lets me know she's in trouble, I can head on. So yeah, let's just do a quick review on that. So like I said, I use Eugen for a lot of these fights just because I always do them in the public section. And up until now, you pretty much have free reign. For Executioner, anybody can do it. Any character, any descendant. Sorry, not a character. Same thing with Dead Bride. Devourer, you can do it with anyone. Pyromaniac, you can do it with anyone. Yes, you're going to have situations where, like, Haley is way better at it, you know, especially these lower guys. Glay is a real good one here with a shotgun, just doom, and the canisters go away. Swamp Walker can be anybody. For Obstructor, you can bring anybody, but you know who's really helpful here? Miss Bunny. Because when those little balls come flying in from the portals he opens up during his enraged phase, she just destroys those things. For me, using Eugen, I got to shoot him with a gun. Ines is probably pretty good at that as well. I haven't tried her in here. But yeah, Bunny was one of the go-tos. Anytime I would do this fight and there was a bunny, I'd be like, "Thank you." So he always opens up, like, at first he'll open up two portals. So Bunny can take both of them out by herself if she's quick. But usually I would post up on one and take care of shooting all that, and she would take care of the other one, and we'd be happy. But yeah, Bunny is great in that fight. But you can bring anybody. Uh, as long as ammo is not going to be an issue. You're going to need to have something that's got a bunch of ammo. Enduring Legacy, Albion Cavalry Gun will be good. Sorry. So there you go. For Frostwalker, you can use anybody. It's not difficult now that they've nerfed him. Same thing with Molten Fortress. You can use anybody you want. But Gluttony, you can use anybody, but it's so easy, as you saw there, when you got a Valby on your team, and if they know how to control that cannon and just mitigate the damage between damage and cooldown, keep that balance going, easy peasy. For Deathstalker, this is where you need to have somebody that's got a shield build. And you gotta have some toughness. Again, damn it. Eugen main, so we go with that. By the way, it's called ham boning because if you've ever seen regular show, you know that ham boning will save your life, and that's what he does. He'll save your life someday. So yeah, I use Eugen, and I have a specific build set up just for Deathstalker. And what that does is that takes into account this guy right here, Overwhelming Shield. So it drops your HP to 1, but increases the max shield by 26% of your HP. So it's really interesting because if you look at some of these modules, why would I increase my HP with stim accelerant and increased HP and then take it down to 1? So I've got 452% of what my HP is supposed to be. Well, it takes 27, we'll just say 27% of that shield or that HP and turns it into extra shields. That's where I'm getting these 18s, these 20s, 25s, etc. I don't have that extra invader set on, so we'll do that. But yeah, but that's what this does. And the reason you want to do that is because Deathstalker has an ability where it halves your health. So your health bar's there, it does this little blast thing, or it'll hit you with the little toxin thing and stick you with it, and now your health is halved. So even if a Eugen, I can usually put put everybody back up to full health and full shields. But if they have that toxin thing on them, or that debuff, I can only get them up to half. And he can put another one on and they'll be down to a quarter, and it just gets real bad. So you're basically going in there and your health is constantly getting debuffed. But if my health is at 1 HP, that takes that right out of the equation. So we don't even need to worry about this health debuff. It just doesn't matter. And that's why I want this health to be as much as it possibly can, because I want the highest number to get that 27% up. So my goal is to have this at least 20k. I've had it up to 25, but I was able to tone it down a little bit. The other keys to this build is this has to go away. And we got to put the toxic antibody on it. Actually, I think I put that the pure anti-venom on. We'll go with this. Oh, no, I can't. That's why. I just don't have the capacity, because that's an R. So I think it's the perfect antibody. Oh, perfect anti-venom. Sorry. Yep, that one matches. Boop. So what that does is that gives me an extra 29% toxic resistance, and it gives me poison immunity. So when he hits me, I don't get any tick damage. So that is great. And I don't really run anything else. Yeah, we'll save. Sorry. And you just got to make sure that you got a toxin resistance on there, and you should be good. What was it? Yeah, we want the HP, definitely. I think it's this. Yeah, this one's the 4. So we want to make sure that we select a processor that has toxin resistance and the most HP we can get. Be great if we had an invader one that did that, but I don't know that we do. Oh, it gives us the HP, and yeah, oh yeah. Boom, that's great. So here we are, we're at 20,000. 20,000 shield, I'm sorry. And then we've got that 2,500 toxic resistance, but that module is also going to give us some extra. So let's see what the numbers look like. Do that every time, man. Let's see what the numbers look like now for Deathstalker. So we're only at 3,000 on the toxic resistance, which is not good. We are dead on with the defense. We are 4 times the max shield, and we are at 99. Well, we're at 1,000,000 over. So basically 1,000,000 DPS versus 730 required. Now, this fight is crazy. They added a bunch of mechanics into this thing. So first thing is, like I said, there's that health debuff that pops out. There's tick damage. Every 5 seconds or so, maybe 10 seconds, this ring pops out of the bottom of it, and you'll see it when we get in there. If that hits you, it hurts, and you get tick damage from that. Every now and then, she'll stop and shoot a bunch of little phantom skulls out of her stomach, and they will track you, and they hurt. And she shoots at you, which hurts. And the whole time, she's a very quick mover too. If you notice, most of the colossi are really slow, so they're really easy to just shoot the heck out of. But Deathstalker moves quick. And she's also got very small, that balancers are huge. They're easy to hit, but the core cap on the front and the back and the sensors, they're very small. So it takes a good aim to make sure you're hitting them. And that's just the normal situation. Then, once you get through the fight, there's a section called clocks. Basically, she throws her arms up in the air and does a little chant thing, and these clocks appear. And it's basically like a white see-through clock with a circle around it that you have to stand in order to make it explode. If you don't stand in it, it's just sitting there going click, click, and you'll see the little clock is spinning around. If that makes it all the way around, no, you can't be crying. If that makes it all the way around, it explodes and it hurts you. And if there's enough of them up and you're hurt enough, that will down you. So you want to make sure that somebody stands in the circle where the clocks are. Now, the funny thing about it is you don't have to be at the same level of the clock. You can be under it or above it, and it still counts. And you can even get downed, and as long as you're not dead and you're just waiting to get revived, you're still standing in it. So that'll destroy the clock as well, which is good for the ones that are like right up in the open areas of everything. Hold on. Okay, so that's clocks. And once you get done with that, you just go back to damaging, doing normal stuff, making sure you're not too hurt, keep your health and shields up as much as you can. And then there's a section where it says that you have to, you have to discover the truth or something like that. And during that phase, there's a bunch of idols that are going to appear. 5 total, 2 in the front, 2 in the sides, 1 in the back. And they're like little scarab beetles with faces. And one of them is going to have its little scarab arms covering its face. That's the one you have to go to. The other ones, if you stand on it, they'll explode and tell you were wrong and hurt everybody. So you got to find the one that's covering its face, and you got to stand in that circle for a pretty long time while she's immune. And she's going to be shooting at you. She's going to be summoning the little spiral drill guys. She's going to be shooting skulls at you. And then the last thing you got to worry about is she flops down and shoots these little V for Vendetta looking masks up in the air. And they kind of arc their way down. And if they hit the ground, it creates this thing that looks like a snake. It's very similar to the Pyromaniac's chains, how they just kind of expand. But there's a bunch of them. I think there's like 10 of them total. They hurt really bad. Really bad. So you want to either shoot them, or if you have a bunny, she can take care of those things real quick. But yeah, that's all happening during the immune phase. And once you've stood in a circle long enough, you'll see there's a ring around it. That's how you can tell when it's about to fill up and expire. Once you do that, immunity phase is over, and you just rinse and repeat until she's dead. So it sounds like a whole bunch, but we'll go over it as we're doing it. And once you kind of get the rhythm down, it makes sense. The thing that happens in this fight is she moves fast and she does a ton of damage, and she's halving your health. So it's real easy to go from everything's fine to crawling on the ground. And the best thing to do in this fight is to stay kind of as mobile as possible and move with precision, move with a purpose. This is the last journal entry I've got to do as far as Colossi battles, because these caps are so small and so hard to see. So I've talked about it before, I'm just about halfway. We're not going to worry too much about those. If I can get one, I'll get one, of course, but we want to just try to focus on getting through this. This is with the exception of the Void Abyss bad guys, this one is the top fight right now, for at least for the regular Colossi. And we still have, newer players that are coming in and people who haven't beat this fight yet. So there's still people that don't have a whole lot of experience with it. And it can be overwhelming, especially if somebody doesn't explain to you what all these phases are. Because you've never had anything like clocks or the baby doll thing with the idol with its scarab face. So there's a whole lot of things going on. And one thing I don't like about the way this game is set up, it doesn't explain the processes to you. It kind of almost like a trial and error thing is what you have to do. And the problem with that is the community is normally not too friendly when it comes to trial and error, And like I said in the description, nobody wants to be that guy. Nobody wants to be the person who's dragging the team down. Nobody wants to be the one that's dying constantly. And it's not a good feeling. And quite often what'll happen is the person will go into this match, or they'll go against Deathstalker. They'll be like, all right, this is the last one I got to get. And plus you can get, Frost Watcher, I think, from this one. And you're like, all right, cool. And you go in and you just get your ass handed to you. And you don't come back. So that's unfortunate, because I've run this with some people who haven't been able to beat it yet, and I specifically remember one person. I was like, "Do you have a shield build?" And he was like, "No, I don't use shields." You know, me and my buddy were playing, and shields are useless. And I thought the same thing. I didn't realize that a small amount of shields, like 500 shields, nothing. You get this 20,000 in there, you can tank these hits. And I walked him through how to set up a nice shield build. He actually didn't have to do too much to the character to change it around. Then we went in, and he was like, "Oh my god, dude, that would have killed me before." I was like, "Yeah, I know. It's crazy. This one specifically have a shield build." And then if nobody explained it to him, how's he supposed to know? Um, I just wish there was a better way of either explaining this or being able to guide people through this, because there's so much stuff happening, and it takes a couple of runs, and sometimes you're going to fail and you'll be like, "Oh, well, I guess I can't do that, or I shouldn't do this, or I did that wrong." But the more you do it, the better off you're at it. So but yeah, hopefully this will help on anybody who's got Deathstalker on the plate or is going to be coming up soon. But tell you what, we're going to get in there. This one you cannot do private, so you have to do it as a group. um, I'll be on Eugen, so the medical corps is here and present, but sometimes people don't have the right build, and I can't keep them alive. And we'll see if that happens or not. Characters that are good for this, Eugen is good because he can put shields back for everybody. Enzo is great at this because his number 3 repairs his shield so quick he could just take massive amounts of damage. Um, Anybody that you can do that overwhelming shield on and get up to 20,000 and put some decent toxin resistance is probably going to be okay at this fight. So there you go. As long as you put a shield build on, it's hopefully not too bad. Hold on 1 second there, listening for something. Yep. Yep. Guys, I think Mrs. Rabbit has finally made it home, so I'm going to go check with her real quick, and then we're actually going to get into this fight. So give me just a few minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Oh, so Mrs. Rabbit is home safe. She said the roads are terrible. It's icy. We had a bit of snow, and then it turned into freezing rain, and now it's kind of just turning into rain. So it's terrible out there. But hey, here's what it is. She's home safe. I'm happy. Okay, so let's go kill some Deathstalkers. The key to this fight is not to die. I know that sounds stupid. But yeah, if you just don't die, everything else will be manageable. So like I said, it's just normal damage. You're looking for skulls. Try to stay away. You don't want to get too close to her because then you get hit by the rings that come out of the bottom. Shoot the skulls as she does them. You wait for clocks. Then you undo the idols. And rinse and repeat. So we'll see how it goes. I'd like to see an Enzo and a bunny. Double Enzos. We'll make it work, right? Alright, so like I said, you don't want to get too close. There you saw the ring. Here it comes again. There it is. So I can stand underneath it, and that's just fine. And it won't hit me. We are doing serious damage to her. Oh. Alright, so she skipped clocks. Because we're hurting her so bad. So that idol has a face. And so does that one. And somebody marked this one here. That is not correct. There you go. You see how its legs are in front of its face? Then we just got to stand in the circle. Oh, there's a mortar too. That thing. You just don't want to stand still. There's some skulls. There's the snakes. See the little masks. Those are going to hit the ground, but I think we'll be okay. Yep. There we go. I think there's... yeah, I think that's already gone. Oh, I'm her favorite now. Alright, so we got another immunity paste. Still have not seen clocks, man. We're just hurting her too much. That one's not it. That one's not it. That one's not it. That one's not it. So it's going to be that one way over here. Yep, you can see it's got its eyes closed. Somebody else marked it. Good. Let's go ahead and do this while we can. It missed. And there we go. And dead. Ooh, hey, easy. I actually don't have a thing for them, so... It's funny, this is where you get the invader set, and the invader set is perfect for this fight, so you kind of got to do this fight to get the thing you need to do this fight. What did we... Oops, sorry. What did we get? We got ourselves a polymer syncytium blueprint. Syncytium. Got a polymer sync. That's one of the parts for Frostwatcher. It's just the same thing as Peacemaker just a second ago. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to let them all leave. And we'll see if I can get another group that will show us at least a clock face. But yeah, it's a lot going on. But it's not too bad. Alright, let's get the restart in. Let's see who we got. Alright, so an Ines will take the place of a bunny. If they have their skill up, they should be able to do quite a bit of damage. Questionable about the Blair. Blair is a great character, don't get me wrong. I love Blair. But Blair's got some short range attacks, man. Alright, I'm up. What are we doing here, folks? See what I mean about not being able to get close there? Come on, stay alive. Oh, come on. Okay. Well, that was kind of... Hey, there's the clocks. Alright, I'm gonna let this one blow. There you go, you got it. I got it. I'll do that. Okay. Don't die, guys. They're all dying. So here's another thing. If you see a Eugen in your group, let them get the revives. I can do it so much faster. There's that one. We gotta go quick. I knew she was close. Okay, she can't even take the one hit. There, take that. Oh. Okay, there we go. Man, we are making this one happen, aren't we, folks? Now, see, I cannot see whether or not that chest is ready to go. Pretty sure it's not, so... Here I am standing way too close to her. That's why you let the Eugen do it. One, you just need to get out of here. Alright, so that person used a death count, which is kind of garbage, but... Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. He marked this, but that's the wrong one. Over here, guys. Oh my gosh, how did I get killed? Oh no. Thank you. Okay, see, and Nez blew them up in the sky, so great job. Okay, this is hectic. Okay, now we'll do some damage. Out of ammo now. Hey, you can see that clock was... Okay, I need you to stay up a little faster than that, please. Oh my god! I still don't have any bullets. Okay. I'm focusing on the wrong things. Oh! There's some bullets, thank goodness. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I couldn't keep him alive. Wow. It's like I said, don't die. We'll restart that one. Two issues that I see right there. Well, actually, it's one issue, but everybody shared it. They all need to get close to do damage with their skills. And this is not a boss that you want to get close to. This be a semi-decent setup. If you're in this, you're going to stay back, use your guns, and your skill would be for clearing out skulls and those little snake masks. Otherwise, shoot some bullets. Because getting close to this boss is a death sentence. Putting a lot of bullets in her. Not getting the crits that I need. Why is she all the way over here, though? Also, if there's more than one person in a clock, it moves so much faster. So... And those snakes got through. You can see how bad that is. Alright, now we're at idols. Not you. Somebody, yep, already ID'd it. Good. I got the mortar on me, so I'll get away. Death Stalker? Oh, there you are. Perfect. Love seeing them blowing up in the sky. And it's gone. Oh my gosh. Alright, so that was just some blind grapple shooting, and I managed to get this. See how tiny that damn thing is. That leg fin is in the environment, so we weren't able to shoot that too much, but looks like it's gone. So now it's headshots. Pick up some extra ammo. It's always a good thing. There is a sensor on the back. I was shooting her in the back, but then she spun around. Alright, got another idle phase. You got to be careful because the idols will spawn. Like that one's going to spawn right there. You got to get out of it. Because if it's the wrong one, it causes damage. So no, no, no. Yep. Beautifully done. Alright, and now we just shoot her till she dies. Like that. So you notice the difference there. Boop. We didn't have any deaths. There wasn't people dying from like one hit. And that's another Inez. So it's just really a build question. The team beforehand, we were just, people were getting hit by things that were hurting, aimed at other people, and it was enough to bring them down. Got to be able to take at least one hit, and the way you're going to do that is with excessive shields or a bunch of HP and some toxin resistance. We're going to do this one more time. And also characters that don't get too close. All right, Doom 218 is our local bunny, but we also have a Inez here, so this should be good. All right, gotta get them both here. Here, you take that so you don't die. There we go. Get everybody back as much as we can. Ooh. Alright, chest cover's blown. But man, it's so hard to see. Alright, so we still got a clock up and we got baby dolls happening. Guys. Oh. We're working it this time, aren't we? There we go. Finally got everybody back to full health. Wait. Alright, so what happened was our, oh, man. Can't bring anybody's health back right now. There we go. It's not good. There's some. Pretty sure that's gone, so... No, it's still in there, isn't it? Okay. No, it's still not yellow yet. Oh my gosh! Yeah, just blew that chest piece, but that's okay. Kind of having a time of it here, keeping everybody up. Alright. Don't stand near it, in case it's the wrong one. Wrong one. Nope. Alright, somebody says it's over here, so we'll see. Yes. A little hard to see in the dark, but yes, that is it. See how it's covering his face? Perfect. Really eyeballing me up. Good job with the snakes team. Alright, here, everybody can have health. We don't have to worry about clocks because it's dead. Oh boy, that was a tough one. We got through it though. Whee. I think that's enough fun for one evening. You get the idea. Shield builds, you know. Shield builds and toxin resistance get you a long way. If you have to sacrifice some range or some damage, go for it. Because doing all that damage and doing all the extra range isn't going to do you a bit of good when you're laying on the ground. So, yeah, focus on survivability. That is definitely the key. Alright. So now we've got the last one that we're going to talk about tonight, and then I think we're going to be done. Started late, so it's getting late, but... Now, this was my Deathstalker build. To go against Defiler, we have a very customized setup. Boop. So we have, first off, increased HP, stim, stimulant, so we're getting the 440% health. We are not doing the overwhelming shield. We are actually focusing on a bunch of HP and then a metric shit ton of resistance. So we've got toxic antibody, we've got perfect antivenom, and we got maximized toxic resistance. So what this does is this gives us 4614, then it gives us an extra 180%, and then it gives us another extra 29%, but we also pick up the poison immunity. And what that translates into is like 22,000 and 26,000 HP. So here you can see I'm just shy of having everything in the recommended section, which again, it doesn't matter that much. The key thing here is this and this. The fact that I've got a ton of HP and a ton, doubling up the amount of toxin resistance. What this lets me do, I actually can make it better. Can make it a little bit better with a different processor. Let's see, because I'm not. Man, I don't want to lose the extra shield percentage. So this is fine. Actually, I don't need the shield percentage on this, do I? Yeah, because my shield's just tiny. So if I can get something with a better toxin resistance, then I should do it. Okay, so that has a real crappy secondary perk with that Aceve's display time being blue, but look at that. 3842 and 646. And this is a 646, but it's 25. So that is huge. We'll see if we can find something a little better. The toxin resistance is a requirement. There's 35, but we're losing some HP. 29. We'll get some extra shield, but we'll lose a little bit of HP. I don't want to do that because it's all based on percentages. Same thing there. I don't want to lose the HP. 29. So I'm thinking this will be our winner right here. We're going to equip that. Takes us up to 26,000. Well, I think that's what we were. But that should help us with our toxin resistance, right? Yeah, 26 and 26. So huge. What this lets me do as a support role, I can focus on keeping everybody alive, but I can tank the hell out of this guy. I can't damage him that well because, again, we're just relying on Enduring Legacy and Thunder Cage, and we should have Secret Garden. But I can tank anything he can throw at me. And the more I can tank, the better off we are. Plus, when he does his little Donkey Kong attack, when he's frenzied, he does this little stomping Hulk smash Donkey Kong looking thing. I can actually tank that. And that makes him stop doing it, which is good. But, yep. So this is the Defiler. And this is a specific build, like I said, specifically for him. Zone tab, because I've got so much toxin resistance and focusing on HP. Everything else is pretty, standard. Just going with skill costs and skill cooldowns as much as I can. But let's get in there. You've seen me do this a bunch of times. I'm not going to do private. We'll do public in case people need help. Okay. We are still chasing that big 100 drop. Sorry guys, was putting the cap back on my drink. So for this guy, we'll aim at the shoulders. Wow, shooting straight up in the air. There we go, and I like to grapple this guy as much as I can. It just gives the team Time to recover. Time to get out, but we're going to drop him quick. Screwed that up because I only have one bullet in my gun. Okay, we need some ammo in a bad way. Oh, she got it. I don't think we're going to get it. Got some. Alright, so here's where we come in. Try to keep him on me as much as possible. So I can't get her right now. She's probably going to die again if she... Yep, she made it out. Good. She was in the poisons. And a lot of times... Oh, other Eugen got her. I am not able to get aggro here. What's going on? Come on. Could just see the little white glow. Might as well do this since I don't have any bullets I can throw. We'll take a look, see if we can see some from up here. I'm just going to drop him quick. You should be able to get him. Yep. Sitting there pointing an empty gun at him like an idiot. And I got 4. Of course. Ooh, let's see, 1,542. Not bad. Probably have to run a couple more of these tonight. Just to get the materials for making reactors better and for doing weapons cores. But yep. So let's go back to Albion and we'll do a quick overview and then I'm going to call it a night. Okay, so what do we got here? Well, we started off with Frostwalker, and he's not, he's a shadow of what he used to be. He's actually pretty easy. Any character can do it. Just put on some chill resistance and you should be good to go. For Molten Fortress, same thing. He's a shadow of what he used to be, so he's not too hard to do. It's just knowing the steps, making sure you get the towers. Any character can do this one. Just make sure you got some fire resistance and HP or shields or defense. For Gluttony, I don't know why it moves that way. It's weird. But for Gluttony, the first time that character's actually kind of custom made for it, and that was the Valby with the spiral tidal wave. But that one, you just got to make sure that you balance yourself between doing damage and then doing cooldown. So, you know, when you're by yourself, it's real hard to get a viewpoint on that cannon, but you just kind of start to get a feel for it. Do some damage, do some impurities in there, and then during his enrage phase, just make sure that you don't let the purple balls get in there. Otherwise, he will do a team wipe and everything will be dead. But yep, this one's pretty easy. If you have that spiral tidal wave, if you don't, it's still not too bad. You just, like I said, got to maintain that balance. And then Deathstalker is just knowing the different steps and the phases and clocks and the idols and snakes in the air, and don't get too close and make sure you got a decent shield build. So Enzo, Kyle, Ajax, Bunny is great in there, and of course Eugen. So there you go. I wish there was a better way to help people out. What I usually do is I do this, and I'll look in here, and I'll see if anybody's needing help with Colossus. Most of the time, it's void purges now. So yep. Yep. Looks like everybody's trying to do everybody's doing void purge, but yeah, it makes sense. Um, I kind of surprised when you see like 27 need to per DPS. They're still trying to, even though it's a public matchmaking thing, it still needs to kind of be set up. Um, can't have too many of one type of character. Like you have too many Inesses, you're going to be fighting over resources, and kind of limits everybody. And yeah, you know. But that's what I do. I sit here and I look in the recruit or in the normal, see if anybody's trying to find help for. Okay, pool party. But yep, just to see if anybody needs help with things, and do my best that way. But I just feel like there's so many people out there who did something once or twice, and it just they didn't know how to do it or didn't know the finer points, and they just walked away and said, "Nope, I ain't doing that one." And that's a shame because once you get the hang of it, it's not really bad at all. So, but anyway, hope this helps somebody if they're struggling or having trouble with some different Colossus or need some ideas. And I will post up here real quick a couple things. So this is the Defiler build. I use this all the time. Perfect anti-venom, toxic, and maximum. Just, you're not unkillable, but man, he has to really try. I have died. Well, I didn't die, but I got knocked down. I was down but not out, and somebody on my team saved me. But it's because I wasn't paying attention at all, or I got too focused on doing something different. If you just keep worrying about people's health and your own health, with that 26k the resistance and then the 26k health, yeah, you're practically unkillable. Let's do this too real quick just to show you this is how I have this set up. This is in order to run the multiple builds, the main, the Deathstalker, and the Defiler. So this works pretty well. The key thing is, like, this guy here helps me switch between chill and toxin resistance, so I can customize a little better. But yep, there's the module sets. You can kind of read that through there. So for Deathstalker, we do change up quite a bit. We do the overwhelming shield. We're still running the perfect anti-venom, but we don't have anything else. We boost our HP for that overwhelming shield. And like I said, it's going to be the same through all those, but that's what lets me do this full-size build. Increased shield helps too. And you just kind of play around with your components to put as much HP as you possibly can, so that overwhelming shield gets as high as it can. And then this is the main one that I just use when I'm running around doing silly stuff. But it also fits in that setup. So there's my Eugen. Guns are the best I can get. This is a Colossus Enduring Legacy. I have another one, but I haven't put a core on it, and it's built for layman Vulgus, not Colossi, because you don't need that bonus. Oh, sorry. You don't need that bonus firearm attack versus Colossi when you're doing a 400 dungeon. So that's why I made a second one. And then went out and got all the parts so I could make it the craftsmanship thing. But yeah, and here's my secret garden. And then my healthy, yeah, the good old Thunder Cage, which still needs some work. I haven't been focusing too much on that. Let me show you this under Secret Garden. I actually started focusing this for the Void Erosion Purge. And basically we did Sparkle, Scorch, and Snow. So for Sparkle, we got Electric Enhancement, Electric Gun Barrel, and Electric Circulation. And then we just kind of matched the same thing: Fire Enhancement, Superheated Gun Barrel, Fire Conductor. And then for this one, we've got a Refrigerant Gun Barrel, Chill Enhancement, and a Snowflake Conductor. So the goal here is, when you're fighting somebody that has, when you look up in the Void Purge, like, so you go here, they're very weak to electricity, so we use the Sparkle one. These guys are very weak to toxic, so we don't have an option. Electricity again. There's a non-attribute, which doesn't matter. And this is electricity all the way through, and then non-attribute here. But in the previous ones, electricity, it's not non-attribute. That's chill. Sorry, an idiot. Maybe that's why I'm struggling. Yeah. So basically, we use the snow one here. Nobody's fire up in this area, so that's why we bounce between them. But that's what I have my secret garden set up for. Basically, just focusing on those elements. I haven't really tried them yet because I haven't been able on the further ones. Like this guy here, everything's set up. I'm at 71. Just got to get that circulation bumped up, but that'll be good. So this one will be ready, and then I've got to get the rest of these slotted in. As you can see, I don't have them quite yet. But that's my plan for that, and I'll let you know how that goes and whether or not this is making a difference. I mean, obviously, it's going to make a difference in regular gameplay. I use this just as a stat booster, Secret Garden. But the more you have it, you're holding it in your hands, you want to be able to shoot. So I started putting some effort into this thing. What do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I need 6 more activators or catalysts into that thing. But yep, there you go. Let me bring up real quick. We'll switch to Little Miss Valvy, and I'll highlight that gluttony build that I have. Key points to this one is this spiral tidal wave, so that you can attract those impurities and makes it so much easier. and then the antifreeze solution so that you don't get frozen when those little balls hit you, because you are operating kind of close to the fountains, and he can freeze you as well. So that just takes that out of the equation, which is definitely good. Other than that, it's a pretty standard build. And boop, this is how I have her set up. And you see, I don't even have enlightenment and strong mentality slotted in because I don't need to. So that's pretty nice. And I still got room for 2 more, so I could grow even more, but don't have the space for it. And then again, you just mess with your components and get what you need. So on that note, I'm going to call it. Sorry for the late start and did take a couple breaks, but hey, real life always matters more than game life. So if you enjoy the content, don't forget to drop a comment, give me a like, subscribe. Definitely helps the channel and the algorithm. We're getting close to 140. At 150, I can get a creator code from Nexon, which means anytime anybody spends real money in the game, I get a little piece of it, probably like 2 or 3 cents. And I would advise you not to spend any money on the game. I'll probably get a creator code just to try to get an in, but this is a free to play game. But you know what? If you want to spend money on costumes, different skins, yeah, and you be you. Buy whatever you want. I honestly, try to support these guys a bit because I play the hell out of this game, and this is what my channel's on right now. So I want them to succeed, and I want things to work well for them. So that way they can keep putting out content that works well for me. But anyway, so if that happens, I'll let you know, and then we'll just keep on keeping on. But thanks for stopping by, and as always, I will see you out there. Take care, everybody.